Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's yours truly, MikeyChipmunks, back with another Nintendo Switch 2 review. And today we have Donkey Kong Bananza. It's been quite some time since we've seen the brutish simian star in a new game. In fact, if we discount the latest ports of Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Switch, it's been 11 years since we've got a new entry in the legendary gaming franchise. You would think for a character as well revered as Donkey Kong, Nintendo would have had a lot more games under his belt, since Tropical Freeze's initial release date was all the way back in 2014 on the Wii U. The original Switch generation came and went without a new entry until now, of course. With the Switch 2 showcase back in April, Nintendo would finally show the future of Donkey Kong in the form of Donkey Kong Bananza, and it was coming soon. The fervor for a brand new Donkey Kong game came quicker than you could say, "Oh, banana." The most important question remains though, was Donkey Kong Bananza worth the 11-year wait? Find out in my review of Donkey Kong Bananza. It was obvious from the initial trailer that Nintendo's first major 3D Mario romp on Nintendo Switch, Super Mario Odyssey, was expertly woven into Donkey Kong Bananza's DNA. Nintendo's EPD team were only founded almost 10 years ago as of the release of this video, and they already have a mountainous catalog of hit titles, including The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Metroid Dread, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Donkey Kong Bananza looks to add itself to the behemoth titles previously mentioned. In fact, my time spent with Donkey Kong Bananza was love at first banana. Donkey Kong Bananza begins entrenched in the mines of Ingot Isle, where Donkey Kong mines for crystallized bananas dubbed Banandium gems alongside his monkey brethren. Trouble quickly finds its way to Donkey Kong and Company, as the mining company Voidco shows up to steal the Banandium gems to power their ship. The resulting chaos from Voidco's villainous actions kicks up a massive storm and presses the boulder-like planet they are on down to the ground, sending Donkey Kong and Ingot Isle to the depths. The story is honestly nothing to write home about, but this is not why you're here. Take all the Mario titles for instance, nobody's giving a shit about the story, but you play these games for the gameplay and the innovation over the story. Heading into Donkey Kong Bananza, my chief concern was the gameplay. For my first few moments spent in the mines of Ingot Isle, I was punching, crashing, and bashing my way through the mines, plundering all the gold I possibly could. To me, Donkey Kong Bananza is the equivalent of getting a hold of some bubble wrap and just compulsively popping all the bubbles at once. The way you interact with the game world, like breaking all the rocks and stuff like that, is honestly way too addicting, and you can easily lose hours just beating the shit out of the planet. Almost every part of the terrain is destructible, and I couldn't help but feel that temptation to destroy everything in my path. Nintendo definitely knew gamers would spend a good chunk of their time in Donkey Kong Bananza destroying the environment, because there are a ton of goodies to find. Along your journey, Donkey Kong eventually finds Oddrock, a strange creature that turns out to be the one and only Pauline, although a younger version of gaming's first major damsel in distress. Remember when I mentioned the story is a bit on the light side? Well, that may be true, but the real meat and potatoes is the journey that Donkey Kong and Pauline go on together to defeat the Voidco Kongs. This game is definitely the embodiment of it's all about the journey and not the destination. Just like Pauline's older self in Mario Odyssey, Pauline's musical prowess grows from her young self here in Donkey Kong Bananza. What Nintendo has done with her character in modern times is nothing short of wonderful, as she was once tucked away in the recesses of many old school gamers' memories from Donkey Kong's humble beginnings in 1981. In Donkey Kong Bananza, Pauline's singing will lead you to your main objective if you so choose to follow immediately. What is nice about Donkey Kong Bananza is that you have the freedom to choose how you want to play. Instead of traditional game worlds or kingdoms like in Mario Odyssey, you'll be traveling through the many layers of the underground world. Each layer is packed to the brim with collectibles in true Donkey Kong fashion, harkening back to the Donkey Kong titles of yesteryear, such as Donkey Kong 64, which was known for its extensive amount of collectibles. Donkey Kong Bananza is the culmination of decades of learning from player feedback and the very best of Nintendo's extensive repertoire of excellent titles. As much as Mario remains integral to Bananza's DNA, elements of Zelda can surely be found here as well. Much like Breath of the Wild before it, you have the utmost freedom to choose how you want to play. If you want to beeline it to the ending, ignoring most of the collectibles, you can certainly do so, but I feel the true magic lies in absorbing the beauty of the game world, basking in the incredible details and newfound fidelity that was not achievable on previous hardware. Donkey Kong Bananza truly takes full advantage of the power of Nintendo Switch 2. The amount of elements on screen is truly baffling for Nintendo fans such as myself, who are not accustomed to Nintendo utilizing such powerful hardware technology. Bashing my way through wooded material shows wood chips careening towards Donkey Kong in great detail and quantity. It is nothing short of stellar. This is exactly how I envisioned a modern 3D platformer from Nintendo to look like. It is everything a Nintendo fan could ever hope for in a modern release. Initially, the game feels simplistic, mechanically speaking of course, until you delve deeper and deeper into each layer, where you unlock new ways to play in the form of Bananza powers. Eventually, you will stumble upon elders who will grant Donkey Kong new transformations in the form of Bananza powers. Each power comes with exciting new ways to play that greatly enhance how you traverse the world. Kong Bananza enhances Donkey Kong's punching power, allowing him to break terrain much quicker with heightened ferocity. There are more Bananza abilities to find, so have fun exploring and experimenting. The amount of movement options is staggering. Donkey Kong could also tear off chunks of the terrain and ride them until they disintegrate into nothingness. Donkey Kong Bananza also features a stacked soundtrack that envelops your ears in blissful ambience, perfectly capturing the rhythm and wonder of the surrounding world. Sprinkled across each layer are records for you to collect, and there is plenty. In fact, Donkey Kong Bananza features over 100 songs in total, including new arrangements of fan-favorite tunes like Jungle Hijinks and the ever-soothing classic Sticker Brush Symphony. It almost put a tear to my eye just hearing it again. It's beautiful. There are special challenge levels that feature those iconic tunes, so make sure to keep an eye out for them, as they are surely appealing. See what I did there? Donkey Kong Bananza's original score fits each layer of the underground with precise detail. The canyon layer, for instance, features a western movie type of score that makes you feel like a cowboy or a cow ape in this instance. Much like Super Mario Odyssey, you are able to change into different outfits, including a fitting cowgirl getup for Pauline in the canyon layer, and giraffe-spotted pants for Donkey Kong, for example. I love that each layer is so vastly different from the previous one that nothing ever feels tired. Each movement spent in each distinct layer always felt fresh, filled with unique NPCs that are extremely charming to interact with. The elevators, as they're called, can transport you to various checkpoints throughout the map and feature quite adorable designs. The rock people, known as Fractones, come in all shapes and sizes and feel like they came out of your favorite Rareware titles like Banjo-Kazooie or Conker's Bad Fur Day. Certain Fractones are designed accordingly based on different tasks that they can help Donkey Kong with. For instance, Architect Tones can create getaways for Donkey Kong and Pauline to rest in, refilling your hearts and adding bonus yellow hearts akin to Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom stables. And once in a while, there will be a little prompt that will pop up where Pauline could actually have a little bit of dialogue with Donkey Kong as he's sleeping. I think it's really cute, and it adds to Donkey Kong and Pauline's unique dynamic in the game and shows their friendship growing over the course of the game. That was a really nice touch. Donkey Kong Bananza has no immediate flaws I can even think of. The one and only issue I have, and is honestly a minor complaint, is that boss fights are extremely easy. Like, you can beat most bosses in probably under 3 minutes. But again, this is a game that was certainly developed with children in mind. The co-op feels like it was designed for this purpose as well, as novice gamers are able to join in on the fun as Pauline, as she physically shoots words from her mouth, destroying the terrain or harming some baddies. Every facet of Donkey Kong Bananza's existence screams Game of the Year contender from the rooftops. I would not be shocked if Donkey Kong Bananza takes home the gold this year. Nintendo took the best elements of some of their most storied franchises such as Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, and much more to create a 3D platformer for the ages. The gameplay mechanics open up the more you play, with skill points gained from Banandium gems unlocking new abilities. The graphics will have you drooling, much like Donkey Kong does his precious bananas, harnessing the power of the Switch 2 to deliver mind-melting 4K visuals. There are hundreds of collectibles that will leave you with hours upon hours of gameplay left over, well after the credits roll. A stunning soundtrack that greatly accompanies you on your journey through the depths of the underground, including aforementioned fan favorites and soon to be recognized classics to come. Donkey Kong Bananza is a masterclass in game development, design, and is the perfect showcase for the Switch 2. Nintendo always finds a way to outdo themselves. When it feels like they peaked, you get games like Donkey Kong Bananza, a title well worth its weight in crystallized golden bananas. Those are my thoughts about Donkey Kong Bananza. I'd like to hear what you guys think down below. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out the algorithm. I'm really trying to get this channel to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So that'd be awesome. Share this video with your friends. And as always, have yourselves a good one.